What is up, guys? alphablue 5.0. Welcome back to my YouTube channel that has not gotten an update or a video or an upload. Nothing on it. Man, it's probably been like 6 months. I think the last video I uploaded was me playing like a video game with my son. I was at a pretty dark place in my life when I last uploaded a video and when I was working on my content. I had a bunch of stuff that I was working on and just going through the editing of it all, and just looking back at it was just stuff that I just don't even feel comfortable uploading. I guess for all the subscribers and all the people that have stayed with me through all this, I guess I kind of feel like I owe you an apology. You know, I was making a lot of content. I was dropping a video probably like once a week and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it was going good, and it was at a, like I said, just a very dark place in my life, and I just kind of just lost interest and just quit uploading stuff and just kind of put it on the side, and lost a lot of subscribers, lost a lot of people, got some messages of what happened to you. Couldn't really come up with a response. Yeah, I figured I wasn't ready to talk about it. I wasn't ready to put it out there. I figured now just come out and be honest. And I mean, this is going to be starting of my new phase of content here. Is just, it's basically like a podcast kind of situation, and just kind of talk about things. I guess, to be honest, not beat around the bush anymore here. I was an addict. Yeah, it feels weird to say. Yeah, I shouldn't even say I was. I am an addict. I guess, quite honestly, I'm addicted to alcohol and considering of some narcotics, drug usage. That it was pretty bad, you guys. It was pretty bad. A lot of my content, I guess, as you could see, I was good half in the bag making most of it. And the stuff you guys did see. I mean, the stuff looking back now on projects that I've worked on or videos that I was working on, it's just, I look at them back now in just like pure embarrassment. Just couldn't even speak in half the videos. I mean, some of it was just not even understandable. It was just me slurring, just taking random breaks to take a sip out of the bottle. It was pretty much how a lot of the content went, you know. And I had some content that I uploaded that was like that, and like the editing process was so insane. Of going back and just, oh yeah, I can't put that in. Oh yep, that's all messed up. Yep. Like I don't know. We'll just throw in some music here, and we'll just drown out me talking. Like that was a lot of my editing. Like a lot of my videos that I was even trying to upload, I would spend more time editing it than what it would, even longer than what the whole video would turn out to be. Like I was just cutting stuff in. I'm in recovery. I should definitely go with that. You know, I definitely went and got help. But I guess maybe we'll backtrack here. Maybe we'll just go from the beginning. I guess ultimately, say we'll just start at like a good 5-year mark. It's probably been a lot longer than this, but like 5 years, I guess, is really where it kind of like really all started to be just a complete problem. It was just completely annihilation at every turn I could imagine. Basically, start of my days were basically most of the time doing whatever job I had at that point to get home to grab the bottle was pretty much my life. That's That was my life for the last 5 years. It was alcohol. I lost a lot of jobs over it, lost a lot of friends, family, a lot of things because of my drinking. How it all really started is, I guess I haven't even come to find an answer of how it all started. Even looking back, I've really just never found like, oh, here's the core cause. Like, I don't know. I lived pretty basic, I guess. Ultimately, I guess it was the stress of just life every day. It wasn't nothing of something horrific happened that turned it into like just grabbing the bottle every day. It was just, I don't know, I grew up and I thought I was ready to take on the world, ready to take on life, and well, life happens, so you just kind of, most people find better ways to relieve their stress. I found it in a bottle. But ultimately, I mean, looking back at it and coming to where I'm at has been just completely amazing. I mean, ultimately, what it led up to, I guess, was the last 3 years. And every single day, I could not go a day without drinking, if that makes sense. I pretty much lived and died every day I pretty much lived every day to just do my job and get a drink. I've been working at the same company now for just over 3 years, and it's a very physically intense job. It has a lot of stress that comes along with it. I was given a lead position very early in my job, so it just kind of put everything on my shoulders a lot to make sure everything was going correctly. And I'm sure anybody listening to this will be like, oh dude, it's not that bad. But at the time for me, you know, just kind of going in there every single day with a complete hangover, or me just, you know, having the shakes, you know, just, you know, needing my next fix, I guess, quote unquote. It was a difficult position for me. And it got gradually so bad. I ultimately really just, you know, I got married. I had my kids. And I guess with all the stress of just, you know, raising kids and my wife, and I guess we were kind of living in kind of a rundown home, you know, so the stress of just, you know, you're going home every day after a hard day's of work, and you come home to a house where it's just, you see 1,000 different problems. You just kind of want to drown that out. You kind of want to block it out, you know. You just don't have the energy to fix all this. You just don't have the energy to do everything that you know that needs to be done. So I found it better for myself to kind of just isolate myself in my own little room, my own little corner, and just grab the bottle and just drink until all that that stress, that just my own little pity party, you know, was just drowned away. And then I was able to just like come out of that room and just walk around, and then it was easy just to just put a blind eye to everything. It was just, okay, well, you know, I understand it's bad. I understand that these things need to be fixed, but, you know, I don't have to worry about it right now. I'll worry about it later. I'll get to it later. You know, because, well, now I'm drunk, so, you know, what am I going to do about it now? It's kind of that mentality. And we ended up getting out of that house. We ended up working very, very hard and making a lot of calls, and we ended up getting a mortgage. We ended up buying a house. And like what I thought initially, I really thought it was going to make it all better. I was like, you know, yeah, we're building up everything, you know, we're getting a house now, you know, I'm a homeowner. I'm able to really go to the next phase in my life that's gonna just completely wash away all the problems that I had, all that bad living situation, you know, that beat down, run down piece of crap house. You know, I was like, we don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to something brand new. And the first day when we moved into this house, I got so wasted that I ended up passing out in the garage on a couch. I didn't even spend the first night in this house. In the house. I passed out in the garage. Yeah. That was my first night of being a homeowner. Like, really, I consider this being, like, my first home ownership. Like, the other house, yeah, forget that place. So, honestly, but I was so excited, so I just thought, you know, like, oh, hey, I'm going to party it up, you know, like, congratulatory drinking, you know, everything will be fine, and, you know, just have a couple of drinks kind of thing, and, you know, everything will be good. All my problems are kind of just left behind, you know, I'm starting a new chapter. I'm starting, you know, a whole new, well, at that rate, I thought a whole new book, you know. And what you don't really realize is, well, what I didn't really realize is that ultimately, when I thought I was going to be starting a whole new chapter and leaving all that behind, no, all that stuff follows you. And all that depression, all that anxiety, all that stress, it's just still there. Like, you can move away, and all that stuff just comes right with you. You know, it's your mentality. You know, these aren't, you know, you look at it as like a physical stress, you know, because you can see, like in the old house, I could see all the problems, you know. So now that I don't see them, you know, like that's the primary of my problem. So when I move, I won't see that. But it's, how should I put this? But I never got treatment for any of it, you know. I never really learned how to control any of it. Never, you know, the mentality stayed with me. If you're in a depressing or stressed situation and you do that for years and you just leave that situation, don't think that that depressed and stressful situation is just no longer in your psyche, because it exactly stayed for me. And so when I got here, let's just say, no, the problems didn't stop. All that stress and depression and all that anxiety, it stayed. You know, I was just lying to myself pretty much, and bills were a lot more expensive, you know. So there, obviously, when we first came in here, you know, we thought we had it all mapped out. You know, we got all the bills, all the money thing figured out. Well, no, didn't really put into, because we were paying so significantly less in the old place that, you know, we could just go off and just spend hunky-dory like it was no big deal, you know. We just spend whatever, you know. Hey, if I wanted a new pair of shoes, I'd go get a new pair of shoes. Hey, if I wanted, you know, a new $100 sweatshirt, I'll go get that, you know. Like, I would just, you know, spend money so aimlessly. And coming here, you try to still live in that because you're just accustomed to that way. You know, you always have money. You know, what we were paying in the old house compared to what we're paying here, it's like quadrupled, you know. But I guess that was the biggest stepping stone for us being able to buy this house, is that, yeah, everything was so, you know, we made a very good suitable income to be able to do it. And that was something that I really struggled with. So ultimately, it was just right back to the bottle. It was right back to go to work every day, come home, and just get annihilated. It just didn't even matter. I was down in, on a weekday, it was probably like a good like quart every day. Probably a good quart. On the weekend, it was easy 175. Easy. Like, just annihilated. It was, because it would start out with a few beers, and then it was just, oh, I need a shot to go with the beers. And then It was just like, oh no, straight shots. And then it was, well, shot glass, what do I didn't fill this up for? And then it was just straight bottle in the hand. And chaser was just mixed out. You know, it was just, yeah, you don't need a chaser anymore either. It was just getting plowed. Oh my God, dude. Sorry, coffee break. But yeah, that's how it went for quite a long time. Fights, I guess, fights is a strong word. Arguments started coming rapidly with my wife and I. I guess I was not a good husband. I was not a good father. Like, I never did anything bad, you know, like, I never, like, you know, don't let your mind race when I say that. I just was not always there. I was just always isolating. I was just off in my own little world, my own little corner, my own little leave me the hell alone. This is what I'm doing right now. When I decide that I am done drinking, I will come out and talk to you. Or some spurts in between there, but ultimately just leave me the hell alone. And, you know, then it was just, well, once drinking at home became such a problem, then it was just, I would leave. You know, I'd just leave the house and just go get wasted at the bar with friends and stuff like that. Like, obviously, it was pretty much at this rate that my wife was just like a single mother. She was just gonna cook, clean, take care of the kids, manage all the bills, do everything herself. But I figured in my head that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing because I was out. I was going to work every day, and I was bringing in a paycheck. Like, so I make okay money, you know. So as long as I was bringing in an income, as long as at this point checks were being basically given to her, what she had to complain about, like, here you go, you know, I'm making the income here, and I'm, you know, giving you the money. You know, she also did have a job. She also has a really good job, you know, so she was bringing money into, you know, so it was a two-way street. But this rate, I just let her handle all the bills. I let her handle all the big responsibilities, like, no joke. And I was just letting that go on through, you know. So in my head, I just convinced myself that, well, since I'm doing that much, which is like nothing in perspective, but as long as I was doing that much, I was fine. And I don't get why you had a problem with me just coming home and drinking after a hard day of work. Well, to any of you mothers out there, or any of you not like being a piece of crap dad, like, you know, there is a lot more to family than just bringing in a paycheck. So ultimately, that realization came a lot later, but in that time frame, in that mentality, that's where I was at, and I felt that I was doing just enough. Obviously it wasn't, but it was wake up every day, go to work, come home, grab the bottle, go to work, come home, grab the bottle. A lot of times I wouldn't even eat. It was just liquid dinner is pretty much what I'd call it. On the weekends, it was, well, liquid lunch, liquid dinner. It's pretty much don't eat, you know, like eating, that's going to get in the way of my drink. If I want to be doing anything, alright, I'm drinking. I'll eat when I get around to it. I would just basically get the alcohol munchies, and that was basically suitable enough for me. So, that's what I did. It's pretty messed up. But throughout the time and stuff, you know, my wife started getting really more fed up with it, and the more like, we're not going to live this lifestyle anymore, or at least she wasn't. She was leaving. She was just leaving. I had, you know, a lot of my family, a lot of my friends expressing their concern, you know, but ultimately we all have problems, and if you're going to judge me on my problem, trust me, I got things I can judge you on too, you know, like that was kind of the mentality, like, don't attack me, you know, you know, the one with all problems cast the first stone here, and trust me, none of you can be casting stones in my direction because I'll just pick them up and chuck them right back at you. Which ultimately, I guess they were just looking out for the best interest of me and my family. You know, they weren't really just trying to put like their picture perfect, but they're just trying to say, hey man, maybe gonna check out this problem. You know, I guess the biggest thing was, dude, you're gonna lose your wife to this. You're gonna lose your kids to this. You're gonna lose your house to this. You're gonna lose your job to this. Which I kind of just felt like I wasn't going to. I had everything wrapped up. I had everything in like a perfect working order. So, you know, I was, what do they call that? What do they call that? I don't know. I was a functioning drunk. That's what it is. Yeah, I was a functioning alcoholic. So, how are you going to judge me? You know, I'm functioning. I'm doing my stuff. I'm going to work. I haven't been fired. We're all good. As long as I keep paying the bills, who's going to complain? Well, everybody is going to complain, apparently. So, ultimately, I guess she did leave. Not to beat around the bush, she did leave. She was fed up with that. She was going to go stay with my sister for a little while, and it was basically just going to come to the point where she was going to file for divorce. She was just going to be done with it, you know. There was nothing she could say or do that was going to make me quit. There was nothing that was going to change my mentality at this point. I was pretty much all in, dedicated. Like, this is what I'm going to do, and if you don't like it, get out the way, you know. But in hindsight, it was her doing that actually did flip a switch in my brain. It was actually my family and my wife and everybody walking away to say that we're done with you, for me to finally sit back and realize, or I guess at that rate contemplate of, well, hey, I might have a problem here. So, in my little manipulative brain, I figured, what's the least thing I can do to get everybody to come back, to convince them that I'm good, to no longer complain about what I'm doing. Going to like AA meetings and stuff like that. I guess throughout this, I've already done that. I've already done the meetings, you know, just to get them off my back. I've already, you know, got a sponsor. I already did like the minor easy things, you know, just completely fool everybody. And then it was just gradually go back into my drinking and reintroduce it to everybody as like, dude, it's not a problem. I'm good. Socially drinking, you know what I'm saying? Just have a couple of beers, you know, just have one shot, you know, like basically just pace myself kind of thing. And then gradually it just went back on to full blown getting wasted. I'm wasted. Well, when she left this last time, like there was no more than doing that. She wasn't gonna accept any other kind of beating around the bush of it, you know, like she was like, you literally need help. I ended up going out to my sisters and pleading my case to her, you know, like, everything's going to be fine, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't going for it this time. She's heard it enough times. So, I went home and I actually brought my kids with me. And I went home and I was sitting there and I was just thinking about it. I was thinking about ways that I was going to just kind of, you know, half-assly fix everything. And, you know, my son walked up to me and he asked me, he was like, you know, Dad, when are you going to be happy? You know, like, you're never happy. Which I wasn't. I was pissed off. I was stressed, you know, all the time. I was depressed, you know. So, you know, him asking me that at that time was like, I don't know, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, you know, he's absolutely right, dude. I have not been happy. I have not been a good dad. I have not been the father that I know I can be, you know. And I thought about treatment, and I thought about like rehab centers, and I thought about kind of outpatient stuff. And I've never been to treatment in my life, so I really didn't even know how it worked. I didn't know how to get into them. I didn't know how to how would even start the process to even do anything like that. It was like completely foreign to me. So ultimately I started Googling treatment centers, how do you go into treatment? Does your insurance cover treatment? How much does it cost you? What is the scoop? And I guess to put it, I'm not in a state that is renowned for our treatment center. We don't have a good name on treatment center. The treatment centers that we have, I'm just not going to beat around the bush on this shit. Straight up, they're all about, just success rates. You basically fit their agenda and you stick their plan, or basically we're done with you and you're getting kicked out of their facility, And I was like, okay, well, this way I wasn't all in, so I was like, bro, I'm just not going to go. If I go to treatment and I get kicked out of treatment, that's going to be a bigger problem than me just not going to treatment, is ultimately what I thought was this is going to be 10 times worse for me. So that's not going to work. And if I stay here, I'm literally, I knew enough of myself to know that if I go to a treatment that's right here, inaccessible, I'm just going to go and they're going to throw me out in Minneapolis and I'm going to find a way to leave. I'm going to just vacate. I'm just going to be like, yeah, no, this is not working for me. I got a buddy I can call and I'm out in deuces. That's what's going to happen. So I needed something away from here. I knew for sure, if I was going to do it, I got to go to a place that is good and I got to get the hell out of here. I can't be anywhere near my friends or family or anybody that I can contact because I will leave. There's going to be a point where I'm just not going to be for it. So I kept Googling, and, one state that is well-renowned in their treatment facilities and a bunch of them to pick from was, Florida. So, in the process of going through them, basically, as you go on these websites, you guys have probably seen it, where you can go and talk to a specialist now. Someone's on the line waiting for you. So it was a little message that basically just popped up on the website, and it was just like, oh yeah, would you like to talk to somebody about this? So I clicked it, and I was like, sweet, yeah. And then I kind of get a feel or a realm of how even this starts. So I ended up clicking on it. And I ended up talking to a specialist, and I was messaging them, and I was getting the information, kind of how this works, insurance, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, okay, well, call me, and then we'll start figuring out things, and, then, I don't have to waste all my time typing. So I called her, and I basically just told her the whole rundown. I was like, this is where I've been, this is where I'm at, here's where my future is going if I don't get help now. And we looked up some places. There was a place in Texas, there was a place in one of the Carolinas, and there was a place in Florida, I guess there was a couple places in Florida, and basically I started boiling down my must-haves and what's going to disqualify me pretty much from going to these places. Basically, success rates, throw them out the door. If they're all about their success rate, I'm not even going to guarantee I'm going to be there longer than 24 hours. So let's throw that out the window. Throw it out the window. Okay, that starts narrowing down places. Smoking. I'm a cigarette smoker. Going through this experience, I'm not going to quit smoking. I'm going to need to smoke cigarettes throughout this. So that started narrowing down places. Now, my biggest thing is I guess ultimately is what makes me run to the bottle. Is ultimately what I wanted to figure out doing this. It wasn't the fact that I am drinking every day. yeah, I'm doing that. Okay. Going through, like, I needed to talk to somebody. I needed a psychologist person. I needed some serious, in-depth counseling. I needed to talk to somebody. I wanted the answer. Like, I wanted my little just big moment of just like, this is why you're drinking. This is what you got to do. Just, you need to stop this so you'll quit doing this. Basically is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the easy answer. I'm looking for just straight up front, give me the answer here. So the place that we found, I'm just being real. All right, so it wasn't a religious-based program. I have a good religion. I'm a Catholic. Okay. But I didn't want to go on a basis of just, well, if you find God, everything's good and you'll be all right, bro. Okay. That's just not going to be the answer. If that was the answer, I would just be going to church every Sunday and I wouldn't be then drinking the whole rest of the week. But see, the problem is that I'm going to church every Sunday and I'm still drinking through the rest of the week. So I just didn't want a completely religious-based program. Like, I just knew that wasn't going to work. I was just like, we'll get to that part. But right now, we're going to work on the mentality of everything, and then we'll start going into spiritual remedies later, okay? That's where I was, and, straight up like it or not. So they ultimately told me that this place is all about the counseling. It's all about just, finding out the core problems. Let's get to the core of the problem. We're not going to push a bunch of sidelined. We're not going to give you a whole bunch of, take these herbs and spices and mix them into a tea and drink them. You're going to be, I don't want none of this. Just go on the mentality of it. And I was like, all right, call them, see what they got to say, see if they accept my insurance, blah, blah, blah. We'll see what happens. So ultimately, we decided on the Florida place. And she was like, I got a flight for you tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, this is like a Monday. And I had my little pivotal moment there, but tomorrow morning, like 4 in the morning, bro. Like, I gotta go to work. How about we wait? We'll give it a week, and then I'll check on it next week. Maybe we'll plan something out. And the chick kind of right there, she was ready. She knew, like, you are never. If I get you off the phone right now, and you get a minute to think about this, you are not going to do it. I'm never going to call you back. Like, she knew you will never call me back. This is a right here, right now, in the midst of things. Dude, you need help. You're aware of that. You need to go now. If you wait on it, think about it, read on it, whatever, you're going to convince yourself that you don't need it. You're going to find the much easier option. You're just going to manipulate the situation. You're basically just going to have your wife come home, and then basically you're just going to call it good, and you're just going to stay at the same realm. But she was absolutely fucking right. I mean, I couldn't argue with any of that facts. Like, that was completely 100% of how it would have went. So 4 a.m. was kind of early because it was like I've been up since 3 a.m. It was like probably like 9, 10 o'clock at night talking to this chick. And I was like, look, 4 a.m. is just not going to work. Like, I'm supposed to be at work at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the hell do I do about them? And she was like, all right. And I had some stuff to figure out, I still had bills. I still had my wife. I still had my kids, they were sleeping in their bed. I just couldn't just up and dip. So we got a flight. I think it was like 11 in the morning we pushed it out to. And ultimately that was going to be the time that we were going for. And at this rate, I've called my wife. I've got my insurance figured out. I got everything pretty much figured out. And I wanted my wife to drive me to the airport. I was like, at the very least, just drive me to the airport. Let's have a final talk. You just need to come home. So everything's planned. I tell my wife, just come home, we need to have a talk. And she did come home. And I told her, like, hey, I got a flight tomorrow morning to leave to go to Florida. I'm going to treatment. And the look on her face was just like, it was pretty crazy. It was just complete, like, thank God. Like, finally you get it. Finally you're actually trying to do something about this, In my head, I'm thinking, bam, I got her home. Bam, everything's good. Like, do I really have to go? Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It was straight up, the addiction came back and was like, yeah, no, fuck it, dude. You already got it, dude. Like, everything's good. But I set a flight at 11 o'clock in the morning. So what do you do? And so I'm talking to her, and I'm trying to finagle my way out of it. I'm like, oh, dude, but I don't really have to go. I think that was enough, just go. And she was like, dude, don't try it. Just go. If you're not going to go, I'm just going to grab the kids and I'm going to leave. If you're not going to go, if you're not serious about it, then fucking call them back. Have them cancel the ticket, So I thought, right, no way of manipulation, no way of finagling was going to work for me. So screw it, So I said, all right, I'm going to go out. I've dedicated. I got dedicated. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go. So I got all my suitcases, got everything, packed it all up. And, she was still pretty angry with me, through the whole drunken espionage. She was still not cool, like she was just like, yeah, or, and I can see her perspective, is he really going to fucking go, like, I'm going to start driving on the road with this guy and he's just going to jump out the car, So, ultimately, I guess, went to bed, woke up, it's like, I don't know, probably like 7, 8 in the morning. I couldn't even sleep. So I guess, quite honestly, I didn't really go to bed. I'm just sitting up there contemplating everything all night. And get up, I tell her, obviously I don't want to go. Obviously this is going to suck. Obviously I know what I'm going to walk into. I've never been to treatment, but I've known enough people to go. I've seen enough stuff about it to know that it's not going to be a great time. This isn't going to be a party. This is not going to be like what, it's treatment, dude. So I was really talking like, dude, I don't really want to go. I don't really need to go. Blah, blah, blah. All the second thoughts just pile in again. And she's like, just get in the car. We're just going to go. In some rate, I was kind of excited. So I was like, oh, yeah, sweet, dude, I'm going to Florida. And the biggest thing about Florida, and the biggest decision why I picked Florida, because I do have family in Florida. Okay, there is family that I have down in Florida. In that perspective, I knew that, like, okay, if anything was really sketchy, if everything went completely south for me, I did have somewhere to go. I did have an escape route. It wasn't family that I guess that honestly I talked to all of the time, or that we see each other every year. Nothing like that, but it was an insurance policy. It was I would have somewhere to go. I do have somewhat of a safety net. So with that all in mind, that kind of really helped too, is to push on going, So I was like, I know that I have a safety net out there. I know that I got some sort of, insurance policy. So we get to the airport, go through the whole spiel, get on the plane. I'm like, dude, holy crap, this is happening. So I flew down to Florida. And grabbing my bags, there was a dude there holding like a sign with my name, like in the movies, like, they were just holding my name. I was like, oh my God. So I went with this dude, and that dude, it was such a long drive too. It was like seriously almost an hour drive from where I landed at the airport to the facility. So I go to the facility. Dude, I have no clue what the hell to expect here. I've never been to treatment, so I had no clue what they were going to expect from me. what I really needed, you know, like they just told me to pack some clothes, you know, you're going to be put on like a 48-hour lockdown thing, you know, you're going to be put into like a, what's that called, like a withdrawing area for like 2 days or whatever, you know, so you can just get all the shit out of your system, you know, and just make sure you're not going to like seize out or die on us or something, you know, so we have a full medical staff. All right, cool. So I go into there, and I get a last phone call from my phone because they take your cell phone, and I'm calling everybody like, okay, I'm here, I'm actually doing it, and like I'm legit, like, you know, obviously they were all very supportive of my decision and telling me, you know, glad you're there and stuff like that. So a dude, while I was on the phone, walked up to me. He was like, yeah, man, hide your lighter in the bushes. Not a good way to start your treatment story here, you know. He told me to hide my lighter, you know. I was like, what the hell? All right, so right away I'm like, dude, there is fucking crazy people. We got crazies. Okay, this is good. So I'm looking at the dude like he's a fucking nutcase. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not, no, like, what are you talking about? You know, he's like, they're going to take your lighter. You're not going to be able to light your cigarettes. You got to ask them all the time to light up your cigarettes and stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, crazy person. I'm on the phone. Go away. So, hours in. So they call me in, I give them my phone, we go through my whole name, blah, 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 you know, basic medical stuff, and just, you know, just kind of giving me a run through of this is what you do, this is what's part. Right at that point, I was signed up for a 35-day program. So 35 days, I gotta be here, 35 days, suck it up, 35 days. We're living the treatment life. All right, I can do that, dude. I can do that. It's 35 days. I've spent longer sentences in jail than I've ever spent. You know, it's 35 days. It ain't going to be that bad. So, all right, that's cool. So they bring me into this little detox area and show me to my room. You know, I'm starting to unpack my stuff, and, you know, it was pretty normal, you know, like there was other people there that was in detox, you know, and I walked outside. Because at this rate, I already knew that I was going to be able to go outside whenever I wanted and, like, smoke cigarettes. So I was like, okay, I need a cigarette, dude. There's a lot. So I walked outside and, like, kind of right away, you know, it's kind of like, if you've ever been to jail, you know that feeling. When you walk out and kind of all eyes on you, you know, you're fresh meat, you know, you're the new guy. You know, so ultimately, I got that stare down. So, but it's not like jail if someone's going to steal your shit or someone's going to beat the hell out of you or someone's looking to take advantage of it, you know. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, we got a new little friend. So they called me over like almost right away, almost immediately. I'm called over and told to kind of come join them and smoke a cigarette with them, blah, 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 blah. So I went and did that, and, you know, I kind of befriended them people, you know, they've been there, you know, a lot of them were telling me, you know, their DOC, you know, drug of choice, you know, why they're there, how long they've been there, you know, how long they plan on staying, blah, 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 you know. So we're going through all that, you know, I'm telling them about my situation and what's going on with me, and all of them are pretty similar. A lot of the people that I was there with were also there for alcohol. There was a few that was there for like heroin and other drugs and stuff, but a lot of them were basically, you know, alcoholics. So, all right, cool. So at least I can relate with these people. It was like, you know, I've done the meth thing, I've done like other drugs and stuff like that, but I guess the one I was doing on a daily basis, and that was being my primary problem, was alcohol. So I was there primarily on an alcohol base. So, I don't know. I just considered them people. They were there for the same thing. So, band of brothers, you know. So, ultimately, did that. Just gonna skip ahead here. So I ultimately did my 2 days of detox. Sucked. You don't have any freedoms. You don't have anything. You know, it's just kind of like a complete wow. You know, getting there, used to everything, going out and talking to people and stuff. So I did that, and then I was switched over to like general. We'll put it in jail phrase here. I was setting off into the general population, right? So at this rate, you've already known people in it, you know, and so you just kind of move your way over to them and able to hang out and talk to them, and you get kind of more freedoms, you know. You're able to kind of roam around whenever you want, do whatever you want, you know. Obviously, you don't have a cell phone. They take that away the whole duration of your time there, you know. So ultimately, there is no Facebook and calling people and kind of just keeping in tune with the outside life. No, these are the people that you get to talk to. Here's your communication. Old school. So that's where I was, and it went good, I guess, for the most part. Like, I guess there was crazy moments, there was crazy people. There obviously was, yeah, that the like third night I was there, like there was like, yeah, YouTube, and there was like a huge gangbang that happened, right? With a bunch of people, and they all brought booze, and you know, they got booze on the campus. You know, it was pretty open, dude. The street was right there. If you knew people from Florida, which a lot of people were based out of Florida, so they had people on the outside. You know, they had their ways of contacting. You know, there was people that were just some treatment lifers. You know, so they knew how to manipulate the system. They knew how to get what they wanted. They knew how to. They knew how to get stuff, you know, like a jail situation, you know how to get shit, you know, so that was a huge situation, and, you know, some people were kicked out, some people weren't, whatever. There was a whole, you know, I guess it was kind of, you know, went into politics. From there, it was just what the fuck did I get myself into, pretty much. It was just, okay, this is fucking wild and crazy. Every morning, I guess, besides that, I guess on a regular day, it was every morning you woke up, had a guy come and just wake you up out of your room, right? From there, I would give them props. They had, like, the best fucking food ever. They had, like, awesome chefs, like, full-on chefs. Like, dude, they were making it was buffet style, like, You had your whole salad bar. You had, like, you know, like, here's your primary entree, your other primary. You had like 3 options of entrees, like all sorts of like awesome, amazing shit. Food was something they did correctly there. So when you went, like, you never missed breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It was, you were not missing them. You know, them part of the days were the highlights of our days. So you definitely did eat good. So from there, then you would have, like, groups, and, like, we'd have, like, spirituality. There was a spirituality class every morning, but it was more or less, like, I'll put it nice, I don't know. She was, like, a very hippie chick that pretty much had way too much coffee in the morning, and she was ready to amp up the world and basically fuck your day up, dude. She was ready. Like, you would go and do like your little chill time, like your little meditation, or, you know, you could just take like a 30-second crack nap if you weren't all down with meditation. And then from there, it was lights on, fucking let's go and beat the shit out of this day. Let's get it ready, you know. So you do that. She was motivational once you got used to her. At first, you were just like this fucking nutcase and just definitely like, I'm not following. But you had 35 days with her, so you know what? You just grow to, like, get to just know her. You just get to just feel her out, you know? And at the end of it, dude, she was, like, your primary motivation every day, dude. She was motivational. So every morning you do that, and then you had, like, other groups. They would talk about, like, drugs and all this. But every day you would see your counselor. You'd have, like, a group counseling center, right? And it was all split off. There was a whole bunch of little therapists and stuff like that would just take, you know, just small groups of people. So you'd have like a small group based, like, counseling, which is really good, you know. So you were able to go more in depth with people. You were able to talk to them, you know, you'd be able to express your problems, be able to just go about why you're there and what you're trying to accomplish and what your life is. And you'd be able to do that really small base, so, you know, everybody could just kind of tell you, you know, like me, it was my first time in treatment, so I obviously brought that up right away, you know. I ain't never been in a situation like this, you know, this is the first time. I don't even really know what to expect, what to do, how to do it. And they were pretty much there, just, you know, they were pretty cool people. You know, they were able to just guide you through, like, this is what's up, this is what they expect, this is what's going to happen. You had the one side that just said, you manipulate the whole situation and you just ease right fucking through it, and you don't have any problems, and you just go right back. And just keep on being a piece of shit. And you had the other half of the people who pretty much were right on board with you, dude. Like, yeah, let's get some help. You know, super motivational, super helpful, and really just like, I'm sick of living this fucking life, you know. And a lot of them, you know, there's like their 6th time, 8th time, 12th time. Some are lifers in treatment, you know. There was a couple people there that it was their first time also, you know. But there was a lot of them that just, we've been through this numerous of times, so, you know, they knew the ins and outs of everything. So we did that, and then you would have one-on-one counseling with your therapist. So, and I had a great therapist, a great therapist. Like, she was really good. She wasn't just I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. Well, like a therapist, you know, but, you know, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear kind of thing. And she first walked me in, you know, and I kind of told her, you know, at that point I wasn't so comfortable, you know, so I was just kind of like, dude, I'm fucking here. I just want my wife and kids back. I want my life back. Like, I want to know the core problem, but could really give a shit less about the whole program. Like, honestly, you know, at that point I didn't care, you know. It was just kind of like, I'm here and I'm just serving my sentence, dude. I'm doing 35 days, man. It's you know, at that mentality, it was just a sentence to me. So it's just like, I'm waiting for it to get done and over with. So she sat back in her chair and she looked at me and she was like, look, if you don't give any fucks, I don't give any fuck. Look, dude, I'm not going to go and preach to you or try to help you if you're just going to turn around and just keep drinking. Like, dude, I'm not going to waste my time. And which, it was kind of what I needed to hear, because it was awesome that she said that, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't care if you don't care, you know. So I was like, well, I want you to fucking care, because I do want to know my core problem, you know. Like, I want to know why I'm running to the bottle every damn day, you know. That is a problem, you know, and I don't want to get out, you know. I don't want to come back here. I don't want to be one of them people, not knocking them. Me personally, just don't want to be the person that says, yeah, I've been here, treatment 8, 9, 10 times, you know, still hasn't worked. Still don't know. I still haven't figured this shit out. I didn't want to be that, you know, that guy. So I was just like, no, dude, okay, like, legit, I'm listening, I'm participating, you know, but I just want to know, you know, help me out here. So she did, you know. We started talking and started giving her kind of like this rundown, like a life story. And I've lived, at some point, you know, I'm 32 years old, dude. In some realms, in some experiences, I feel like I've lived like 10 lives. I have a lot of experiences. I've done a lot of things, seen a lot of things. A lot of crazy shit has happened in my life, you know. On a whole drug realm, drinking realm, sober time, had my shit together realm, nearly running my own business realm. Like, I've lived a bunch of different little characters, you know. So it was a lot, you know, and coming about how, you know, how did I get to this point? Out of all this shit, you know, I've beaten methamphetamine by myself. I, you know, did all these drugs. I was, you know, selling drugs. You know, I was moving drugs, you know, from state to state. Like, I did some crazy shit, you know, and I beat all that. All the point where I thought I was being a successful fucking person finally, that I was actually, like, not being a piece of shit, you know. I escaped it all with no felonies. I escaped it all. It's just, you know, okay, yeah, I had a few run-ins with the DEA and federals. All that stuff happened, but I escaped it all, you know, like, not snitching. Basically, just attorneys, man. Lawyers, man. Like, I was able to fight my cases. I was very, very, very legal smart. I'm very legal smart. So a lot of it, I just squeezed right past, just right fucking past that line. You know, I've taken, you know, the gross misdemeanors and stuff like that. You know, I was able to just squeak on fucking by. How the hell am I here? You know, and talking to her, you know, going back to early childhood, my mom died when I was very young. You know, I guess a lot of that stuff is stuff that I'll go through in like later episodes, but I guess really to stay on track here, like I did have troubles that I was very unaware of that I had troubles with. I was very much holding a bunch of anger and a bunch of grief that I never released before. I was basically taking all of my problems and all of my depression, all of my shit, and I was just burying it down and just smushing it down, and it just was imploding. And it was coming out in outbursts. When I would get these assaults and when I was getting arrested, it was just outbursts of all this shit that you've just been boiling down and putting down and putting down and putting. The scariest fucking thing is, you know, and the realest thing she's ever said was, one of these days, if you don't start working on this stuff, it's all going to come out in one big bang. And when that fucking happens, she was like, you're not going to be able to control it. You're not going to be able to stop it. You're going to lose complete, full, and fucking control of yourself. And unfortunately, but the realest way I can put it at that is it's going to be out at every person that's close to you. It's going to be at your family, you know. Which scared, looking back at it, you know, and I was reflecting on my life, you know, and I'm looking back, I'm like, dude, this shit all comes out one day. It's not going to be good. It's going to be fucking horrible, you know? Like, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I hear her perspective. Well, what do I do about it, you know? What do I do? What's the cure, you know? I've been drinking. Just burying it and just keeping it drowned. Well and good and drowned. I guess... Dude, really to make a very, 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 very long story short, at this point, I guess, is I started learning how to manage my emotion. I started learning how to manage my life. I started learning how to start prioritizing from the most important things to the most least important things, to then kicking things out of my life that was only going to bring me negativity, pain, stress, depression, anxiety, all these things that you can simply just kick out of your life, you got to kick out. All this backlash, I shouldn't say backlash, all this back stuff that happened way in the past is, dude, you got to let it go. You literally just got, whatever it takes to get it out of your system is you have to do, and you have to do now. How that get, you know, dude, it could be anything from just doing some simple meditation to going to the gym to going on walks to whatever. You go and punch a fucking punching bag until you cannot even lift your arms anymore. Whatever it takes to get out some of that aggression and some of that pain and some of that anger, you just got to get it out. Without running to a bottle, without running to a drug, without picking a fight or finding somebody's face to take it out on. You know, you have to find a way to relieve this stuff, and which was, dude, huge. So I did. You know, I took a lot of that advice. I started going to the gym. I started walking. I was walking. I'll do 3.5 miles in the morning because I figured it out. Like 10 laps around that place was like 3 miles. So every morning I would hit about 10 laps. Just starting out, like straight up started. And I was counting them. And then it came down to a point throughout time there that I wasn't even counting the laps anymore. I was walking pretty much until my legs were fucking jello. I walked. And then I'll go to the gym and just walk. All right, go to the gym, and dude, the amount of just great feeling that I felt doing that was just astonishing, dude. Like, it sounds crazy. I couldn't even tell you, dude. I was no walker. I was no runner. I was no, like, huge into, like health nut, This is all just kind of new to me. And I started doing it. It felt really great to do it. It felt really great. Like I was just getting out this shit, And ultimately, I was able to just kind of just let some of my just my anger and my stress and just get it all out. And that was going good, and through the time there, you were able to talk to people, hear other people's stories. You'd see new people come in, some old people go out, and all this. It was just kind of like a revolving door, So every single day you would have a new person. You were able to talk to new people. You were able to just communicate with people that have sat in the same freaking position as you, have the same problems as you, able to tell you about different ways that they combat their issues and what they're trying to accomplish and what they've seen people do and who inspired them to do this. And all this stuff was very enlightening. It was very it was such a good environment to be in at that moment that I needed, because a lot of the people had the same fucking story. A lot of the people were dealing with the same shit that I was dealing with, and I couldn't be at home, dude. Like through all this, I couldn't have talked to anybody about this. I couldn't have just gone off to an AA meeting and had the encounters there that I have and treat me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't the same. I've tried it, man. I've tried it. I've tried it. It was not fucking working for me. This is me. Maybe you found it. Maybe that would work for you. But for me, it just personally wasn't working, And it wasn't an agenda. It wasn't like, well, if you find this or you do this or you get this, then, everything's going to be solved. There was no fucking none of that, dude. You had to figure out why. For yourself. There's no simple fucking answer is ultimately what I'm going to tell you right now. I could beat around. I could probably just save myself fucking an hour. There's no simple answer to addiction. I didn't even believe in addiction, to be honest with you. Before this all started, I didn't even believe addiction was a thing. I just thought that was a personal fucking choice. You wake up every morning, you decide to grab the fucking bottle. That's nobody's fault but your damn own. That is... Don't give me your whole pity party story. Don't give me all your bullshit. Don't give me this one time this happened and now your whole life's fucked. I didn't believe it. I didn't buy it, dude. I didn't buy it. Even people ODing, dude. It was just like, dude, that's what you did. You decided to stick a needle in your fucking arm. So, dude, I don't get why we're spending our money and resources to fucking come help and save you. Dude, you knew the consequences for your actions. That's how I honestly felt. That's how I walked into this. It was everybody else that had the problem, not fucking me. You had the problem, I'm going to work every day. I'm getting a paycheck. I decided to drink every fucking day. It's my body. It's my kidney. It's my liver. It's my shit. Like, fuck you. How are you going to tell me what I should be doing with my fucking self, dude? You know what, dude? If I die from it, well, it was my choice. You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. Who are you to judge me, dude? You ain't perfect. Dude, that's why I walked into this. And it was the most fucking broken kind of thinking you could ever have. It was fucked. There is no beating around the bush on that. There is no cleaning that shit up. It was a fucked mentality. It was not good. It was completely wrong. It was selfish. It was horrible, How the fuck are you going to be happy with a mentality like that? How do you expect your life to be any better if your mentality is, well, it's my problem, it's not fucking yours. Well, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want and fuck you if you don't like it. That is a very scary mentality to have. And these people kind of changed that. They changed that. They changed that trait of thinking. And not just them, not just the experts, not just the people that went to school for how many years, to tell me they're shit out of books. Literally talking to these people. Literally having these encounters with other addicts. And literally being there for 35 days. There's no escaping. There's just no hour. And then you just go back to your own little life and, you don't got to deal with it. It's 35 fucking days that you're with these people. You have no choice but to listen. You have no choice but to talk to them. You have no choice but to go and reflect on your life and what you've been doing and put it in perspective because they're living the same way. They are dealing with the same problems. They are fighting the same fight. And that was fucking huge, dude. That was something I really needed. That was something it's an experience. Honestly, it's a complete experience. And a lot of the people that work there were also addicts at one point. It wasn't just they read a book about an addict one time and now they're just reciting what they've been reading for the last 4 years. No, these people were sitting in the exact same spot I was sitting in once in their life, and they got sober, and they decided to quit being, a piece of shit. They decided to change their life. Granted, some of them then had to go to school and, ROTC, get degrees and stuff like that, obviously, but that's what they decided to do. They wanted to help people. They wanted to show people what I needed to see. And I can say, honestly, it changed my life. It really did. It really put things in a different perspective. Even if I wasn't an addict, even if I've never touched a drink in my life, that is still an experience that I would still recommend that everybody goes on. Because there's a lot of people that were just like my train of thinking that have never been an addict. That just say, it's their fucking problem. If they die, they knew the risk. Well, you're a piece of shit, so that you decided you in some way you deserve to get drunk. You deserve to get in that vehicle, and you deserve to run into that brick wall, and you deserve to die. Some people honestly believe that, and in some realms, I did too. I did firmly believe that. It's fucked. It's not right. Where's your human dignity, man? And quite honestly, it could have been me. It could have been me. Sorry, coffee break. As I honestly, I did my fair share of drinking and driving. I did my fair share of really, really, really sketchy, stupid stuff when I was drunk. That honestly, one little mistake would have ended my life. And what? You would have just sat there and just said, oh, he deserved it because he was drunk. He deserved it because, he was fucking smoking meth. Oh, he deserved it because he was an addict. Dude. Well, in perspective, that's not what my family's going to think, dude. That's not what my kids are going to think. Sure as fuck's not going to be what my wife thinks, People got families, dude. These people got people that care about them. It's easy to be, in your own little perfect fucking world, behind a computer screen, fucking using your fingers and talking a whole bunch of shit. But dude, these are people, man. And skip way ahead, dude. There's people that I was in treatment with that went back, that are back right now. There's some people that I was there with that died. They went back, or they got out, and they couldn't fight it. And they ended up passing away due to it, rest in peace. And a lot of people are getting affected by this, and a lot of people don't know what to do, and a lot of people, look at the heroin epidemic, dude. Man, now to find somebody or to hear from somebody that is in some way, if not themselves, have been affected by drug and alcohol addiction. People have died popping pills. People have died with heroin. People have died, with drugs and alcohol. It's crazy stuff. If even not losing their lives, they've dealt with it on people that have gotten, DWIs, have gotten in trouble, assaults, domestic violence, all sorts of shit. Every person you know, probably you, in some way has been affected by it. And I guess looking at it in perspective, ultimately, my wife would have never done, if she would have never left, would I have ever gone to treatment? I doubt it. I don't think I would have ever woken up one day. If I was just single by myself, or if she would have not cared, or she just would have put a blind eye to it, and just always just kind of just been like, yeah, that's what he fucking does. Fucking, he gets mad sometimes. Oh well. I would have never woke up one day and just said I needed to go to treatment. I can firmly believe that I wouldn't have done that. I know I wouldn't have. And that's another thing too, is like, I didn't know how to go to treatment. I didn't even know how the process works. I don't even know how it started. It's just, quite honestly, it was some Googling and like one of them little pop-ups on a website that, oh, hey, would you like to talk about this? I can help you. Sounds easy enough, but you also got to have the mentality that you're going to even Google that. You got to be ready, because ultimately, if I wasn't ready, in that way, I was ready. I was ready to do it. I was ready to get clean. I was ready to get sober. I was ready to quit living the bullshit. I was ready to do that. You couldn't have done an intervention on me and just all of a sudden I would have just been like, oh yeah, that's what I've been doing. Shit, dude, I thought everything was cool. Like, I don't know, I guess I'll go to treatment. No, dude, you would have put me in a room with all my family and friends and loved ones and blah, blah, blah. And these motherfuckers would have started coming at me with my problem. Dude, it would have not have ended well for any of them. It wouldn't have ended at all close to me going to treatment. It probably would have made me resent it even more. It probably would have made me just discover at that point that fuck that. And I probably would have lost some friends, lost some loved ones, and lost some family, and that shit would have been over with, bro. Like, I would have gone ham as fuck. But how do you get somebody to go? How do you get somebody to research? I guess it's things like this that should be happening. Discussions of it. Discussions of people that have been there, that have been in your shoes, that went and did it. And I got over like 6 months now. Like 7 months sober. And I shouldn't, okay, and I'm not even going to say I'm 100%. I'm not going to lie. Sure, I've had a beer. Yeah, I have. I've had a shot. Yeah, I have. Have I gotten drunk? No. Does that say that it's any better? No. But that is the demon that I'm going to have to fight for the rest of my life. That's why we say I'm an addict. Not once say an addict. You're an addict, dude. Like, you just always kind of have that kind of like demon sitting on your shoulder and stuff like that. And to say that, I'm not going to look at this and just say, oh, I'm never, ever, ever going to do A, B, or C again. You're setting a standard for yourself that's it's a very unrealistic standard to set for yourself and puts too much pressure. I might get drunk at some point in my life again. It might happen. I'm fighting not to do that. I am going to take steps, the necessary steps, to make sure that does not happen. But mistakes happen. People happen. Situations happen. Life happens. But the primary thing that I'm going to go with is I don't ever want to go back to the position that I was in. I know that for a fact. I have seen now, even going back and watching videos and hearing myself talk like this, drunk out of my fucking mind, I've seen and heard firsthand myself being a complete just idiot. And I don't want to go back to that. I do not want to live that, dude. I don't want to live that again. It was horrible. It was horrible. Things that I could be doing much better with my life. Things that I could be doing, be trying to make an impact on people, not backtracking my own life. And that's all I was doing. How I even kept my job through all this was pretty much amazing. How they didn't fire me is I don't fucking know, dude. Because I can look back and I can think of several occasions where, yes, they should have been fired. No, you were good at hiding it. No, I wasn't. I wasn't good at hiding it. I wasn't good at, beating around the bush on it. It was just like, I was a bad employee, dude. I tested it in every room that they could throw at me. I tested it, dude. Like, it wasn't good. But I got my job. And now I'm a better employee. And I, now and actually I get my raises and actually do the right stuff. I mean, actually feel proud of myself, not just, well, how the fuck did that happen? Actually proud of myself for doing the things that I can accomplish, And I'm looking at better opportunities. Now, with a clear mind, open mind, there's a bunch more opportunity out there for me. That I'm considering, that I'm looking into doing. Part of making this right now is not so much that I hope I can help you. This is helping me. This is strictly for me. I don't care if no one even listens to that. I don't really care. I'm just letting it off my chest. I'm just getting it out there. Instead of burying it all, instead of burying this whole thought process, I'm letting it out. And that's what I'm going to do. This is episode number 1. I mean, plenty more to come. I want one. I think pretty openly. I got a lot of opinions. I guess is how the YouTube thing even started for me. It's just I got a lot of opinions, and I'm usually sitting in the car by myself and just talking to myself like I'm doing now, and venting or explaining or giving suggestions for a better outcome or a better situation or things that we could do differently to make things better, and I'm doing it to myself. What? Okay, well, why not record it and upload it, dude? I'm gonna talk to myself anyways. If you care to hear it, if you agree, if you don't agree, whatever, I don't care. It's out there. So when I'm driving down the road, and Trump decides to kill leader of Iran's military, I probably have some thoughts about that. I probably have some suggestions. I probably got, some mixed emotions. And probably, I'll speak on that, son. I have a lot of information in a lot of fields. So, I'm just going to throw it out there. Whether you agree with it, cool. If you don't, cool. If there is something that I missed or something that you would like to put on, there's a whole comment section, bro. And ultimately, dude, don't take it from me. If you have different opinions, you have a whole different opinion, dude, make them yourself. Do it up. Let me know your channel. I'd like to hear your opinions too. And what better way to start than just on my addiction ride? Just given that probably because I haven't, uploaded a video in the last 8 months, so start it off there. Just let it ride. So, I mean, totally got off track here. But as far as agenda, there is no agenda here. There isn't going to be one either. There isn't going to be, today I'm going to only talk of, nope. We're just going to go all over. I don't know. I plan on getting people on here too with me. That ought to be fun. Got a few buddies. Got a few people. Talk to people. I mean, why not? Like and subscribe. But anyways, like I was saying, I've been sober now for about 7 months. Treatment, I guess back on that, it wasn't, I ain't gonna lie, dude. It wasn't the best time ever. I had to deal with a bunch of demons that I've basically put in their own little box. Well, at least that I thought I put in my own little box, and everything was good, and just, they're buried away. Yeah, no, in treatment, seeing, talking to a therapist, they tend to kind of want to pry all them boxes open and see what's in there. I wish they did. I had some hard times, dude. There was some blood, sweat, and tears, man. Like, I guess in perspective, I had some of the worst possible days of my life there, and had some of the best days there. There was good and bad, man. And when it was bad, it was horrible. And when it was good, it was awesome. It was for my psyche, for me to be able to let it all out, man. To like just get all this shit out of the closet, and just get all these little demons out, man. It was good. And there was so much underlying stuff that I didn't really, like stuff that I didn't even really know affected me, and stuff that I really just thought like when my mom passed. It was just kind of yeah, that happened so long ago. That doesn't affect me. That's not, and that's not influencing my day-to-day decisions. That's not influencing anything. You're wrong. Dude, a lot of that affects me still to today. A lot of that stuff was seriously like, were stepping stones to where I was going. Not that I started swallowing or nothing like that. I was young, and it wasn't, I want to say this very nicely, it was not properly addressed when I was a child. It was not properly taken care of when I was a child. There was things that I didn't understand, and really all I knew is that my mom was gone. I knew she was gone out of my life for the rest of my life. But the effect that took on me was a lot more than anybody I think really could understand or did understand, or they just didn't know how to address it. And going back and looking at that, and going through my life, and going kind of through a bunch of things that I've, there's stem points in your life. There's things that happen in your life that stem to other things. It's basically just a gateway. And yeah, I really didn't know, I really didn't ever stop and think about it. I didn't check myself. I just didn't check myself enough. I was a troubled kid, dude. And with that, without it being addressed, only made you do troubling stuff that leads you more into troubling situations that then leave you more troubled at the end, and no one's addressing it, no one's trying to fix it, no one's kind of guiding you through, so it escalates and escalates and escalates and escalates and escalates. It leads you into a dark path. It leads you to hang out with the wrong crowd of people. It leads you to do the wrong things. Because that's what you've been doing. Them are the people that you're surrounding yourself with. You do these wrong things because no one's told you any differently. No one's told you what you get in trouble for, but what's really your fucking punishment, dude? You skip school so you get suspended from school. Is the dumbest philosophy that we have. Sweet, I didn't want to come to school, so I decided not to come to school, and now you're telling me that I can't come to school for the next 3 days. That sounds like the best punishment that you could ever have given me. So what do I have to do to keep this happening? Maybe I'll just skip school again, and then maybe you'll suspend me more and make it so I can't come to school more. Perfect. This is an era that I grew up with. These were the answers. These are not good answers at all. And honestly, you see it now. You still see, dude, bullying should have been something that should have been casted out so long ago. The way that we're addressing it now should have been addressed 20, 30, 40 years ago. Now we're seeing the repercussions for it because it's only escalated and it's only escalating more. Dude, like, we got fucking school shootings happening. It's shit, dude. Like, bro, it's only escalated. I don't know when I was a kid, but dude, we didn't really have all these school shootings happening every other week. All right? It escalated. It's been escalating. It's only going to get worse, but, you know, it's on that realm. But it only takes for people to start realizing it and only to see this escalation to stop it at the core. And when it's initially happening, then waiting for a fucking tragedy to happen, you know? So it's that mentality that we need to go. It's this kind of talking that we need to do. It's these kind of things that need to happen. Because this drug thing, this alcohol thing, these addictions are fucking real. They're out there. They're taking lives every day by the fucking... I don't even know the numbers right now, but I'm sure if I Googled how many people died of overdoses or drunken-related or drug-related accidents or whatever the case may be, I'm sure the number is astonishing. And people don't really know where to go to get help. They don't know how to get help. Like me. And it's not that I got help. I got a different perspective on it. I have a whole completely different outlook. Not saying I'm perfect. Not saying it was like the thing that's going to change every single person. You know? But it's helped me. It has definitely given me a whole different perspective. Not saying that I haven't had slip-ups. Not saying that I'm not going to. Not saying that there are going to be future ones. But it's definitely ingrained in my psyche of what I'm doing is not good for me. What I'm doing is, you know, it is that stop. It is that stop and think when you go to grab that beer. It is that stop and think when you go to grab that shot. And it's not even as much as you have to be addicted that you should have that second thought. It should be everybody should. Not saying that all alcohol is bad, not saying that all drugs are bad, not saying that marijuana and blah, 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 and not going down that realm. But there should be a moment of a stop and think about it. People should have that mentality. They should. And I believe a lot of people do. And I believe that people are just born with that, you know. People are just raised up with that, you know. Like they say that, you know, alcohol, you know, and addiction goes through the gene pool. They say that more people are susceptible than other people. A whole lot of research on this. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, oh, I know all about it. No, I'm not gonna tell you whether right, wrong, what. I don't know. I just know for myself that my family had a big problem with drinking. Coincidentally, I have a huge problem with drinking. And I'm working on helping myself with that problem. You know, working on the things that are going on in my life, learning how to handle things in my life, learning that when something goes bad, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And there's always an answer to a hard question. There's always a way to make things better. Just because you're at your lowest point, I'll rephrase that. Even when you're at your lowest point, you can only go up from there, right? You can only go up. If you're at the very bottom, you can't go any lower. The only place you can go now is up. It sounds fucking stupid, but it's the truth. And at my lowest point where I thought there was no hope, no faith, and I was looking at the rafters. Lowest point. But all I could go was up. So that's what I'm trying to do. And that, you know, and not the perfect person, you know, don't look at me and just like, oh my God, you're my idol and you're gonna, you know, you got it all figured out. No, I don't. I'm still figuring it out day by day. Every day. Trials and tribulations, I don't have all the answers. I'm still trying to find all the answers. I believe, every day I get a little bit more of my answer. Every day I look into my kid's eyes, it's a little bit more of an answer. Every time I drive to buy the liquor store, it's another little answer. To elaborate on that, I got stuff to live for. I don't have to go to the liquor store. I don't have to drink on New Year's Eve. I don't have to find an excuse. I don't have to isolate myself. I don't have to bury my problems. I don't have to say, oh, this is too much for me, and just, I'm not going to do anything about it. I don't have to do that. I can man up and take care of my responsibilities. Not saying that, it's all going to be perfect. Not saying it's all going to work out all the time. But I'm going to try my very best. And, I guess that's all I can really expect out of myself, is just try my best. And I think all of you can do it. I think everybody has the potential to do it. It's just, going out and doing it, and trying to be the best that you can be, man. Back. After 35 days, I got out of there. I felt a lot better. I felt like I got a lot of, answers and stuff like that. I ended up coming home. I ended up spending good quality time with my family, that, especially sober time that I haven't spent with them in a very, very long time. And, talking about my experiences, and stuff like that. Like, it was fun to be able to go out to the ocean every day. It was fun to be able to talk to these people. And all the bad you can say that treatment was, there was also a lot of good. There was also a lot of benefits, that weighed out some of the bad times that I had there, or some of the stuff that I disapprove of, because I could go through a whole list of things that they could change, things that I didn't like, things that could be better, things, I could literally go all over their review page and go through that all day. But really, that's probably just me. It's just me being a little shithead. They work with what they got. Or I could be the bigger person and look at myself and see what they did for me. See the positives that I took out of it. See all the stuff that put things into a better perspective for myself. Don't focus on the negative stuff. Focus on the positive stuff. Focus on the stuff that you want to now correct. Focus on the stuff that is really important to you. I only had 35 days there. A lot of people only had 35 days. Once I'm out of there now, I don't have to go back and try to badmouth them to make myself better about where I was. Oh, I wasn't that bad because this person did this, or this person was that bad, or this, I wasn't as bad as this person. What good is that going to do me? What kind of fucking bullshit excuse is that? Oh, you're not as bad as them, so you're good? No. I called myself a piece of shit because I was being a piece of shit. That person was being worse than me. That's their own personal problem. Maybe to the one bad thing that they told you that they did, maybe they've done 1,000 good things that they haven't told you about. Maybe they're just having problems in their life and they just can only focus on that one thing because they want to get, they really want to get that solved for themselves. You don't know. You don't know a person's life. So there's no you are better or worse. There's you are you, and you can only fix you, and you can only help yourself. And these people will assist you. But again, like my therapist told me, if you don't give a fuck, I can't make you give a fuck. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. I won't waste my time or yours. We can just sit here and eat a donut and drink some coffee, and we can talk about who's going to the Super Bowl this year. Honestly, I'm not going to try to convince you either. If you want the help, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. I'd be more than happy to assist anybody in their story of recovery. I'd be honored. But you also have to come to a point to where you want it for yourself, because, like my therapist said, I can't help you if you're not willing to help you. Nobody can help you unless you're willing to help yourself. They can kick, scream, intervention, they can do whatever they want. But unless you're at that point where you're ready, like me, if I wouldn't have been ready to go, if I did not make that call, if I did not make that message, if I did not hit that Google search, if I did not do this, I would have never, I wouldn't be having this discussion. I would not be talking about this. So I wouldn't have been ready, and I wouldn't have done it. I know it hurts. I know I got family and friends that are still mixed up in it. I still see it. Be honest with you, I am sponsoring some people. Be honest, I am helping people with their recovery. To be honest with you, I am, I was going to AA, like every weekend and, a couple times a week. That has dwindled. That's for another episode. That's a different discussion, but it helps. It does help. It's definitely good to do. I am not going to deny that. I do go to church. I'm dwindled on doing that too. Not going to lie. I'm not here to lie. But it does help. It is good to do. It honestly, it's definitely the things that in life, in perspective, in your mentality, are things that you should hold. Even if I get it, if you don't have a higher power. I get it if you just ain't down for whatever. Find your own thing. Find peace. Find what makes you happy. Just do it without destroying yourself. I'm saying that as I just got done smoking a cigarette. Trust me, all my addictions are not aside. I still have things to work on for myself, I still do. I'm not a saint here. I'm not, not somebody that's got it all figured out. I still have stresses, and I still have some depression. I still have some anxiety. I still, I struggle with still a lot of things, but it's just how I'm going to manage these things. How am I going to conquer these situations? Is the mentality that I'm going with now. Is how can I make my life better? I don't want to keep on taking steps back. I only want to look forward. I want to plan my future. I want to plan my child's future, children's future. I want to make my life better. And honestly, at the point that I was only making my life worse. I was only trying to run away from a problem that never went away, and I was never finding a solution for them. I was always just hoping that just one day, I don't know, maybe the debt collector will just forget about me one day, or maybe the computers will crash and, it'll just be all deleted, or maybe, like crazy outlandish stuff that's never going to happen. Dude, you're not going to run away from your problems, dude. They're not just going to go away. You have to face them head on. And that's something that I will say a lot of people need to learn how to do. And I'm doing that, and techniques and ways to make your life better, and positive affirmations, and doing some meditation and things like this seem to work really well. These are things that I plan on discussing. These are things that these will be in episodes. These are things that I plan on putting on the table. That worked for me. They may or may not work for me. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe it'll give you a whole different perspective on things. But these are things that I want to spread. These are things that, I want to tell people what I'm doing. If it helps you, that'd be awesome. If you don't understand things, feel free to message me. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to drop something in the comments. Feel free to do it. Because I know how real the struggle is. I know how hard it is, dude. I know. I understand 100%. And trust me, if there was a magical little pill that could just make it all go away and make it all better and just give everybody the motivation and give everybody just a wash away of all their problems and all their stresses and all their depressions and all their anxiety and all their shit, trust me, it would be out there. It'd be out there for the world to overdose on. But there isn't. Because it's not that easy. There isn't, because you got to do it for yourself. There isn't, because everybody's writing their own story. Everybody is different. Everybody is trying to live the best that they can, but some of us just get lost. Get lost in the realm, dude. They just get lost in it. And yeah, I hear you, dude. It can be quite fucking scary. And a lot of us do it without even realizing that we're in that deep. A lot of us do it just kind of slipping by thinking, nah, everything's fine. And everybody around you is miserable. People don't like being around you. People want to help you dearly. People are just watching you kill yourself. And they deep down inside just know that there's nothing they can do for you, that you got to do it for yourself. And as a family member, as a friend, as a loved one, as myself being there, I see it in people, and it fucking hurts, man. It hurts. I see it firsthand. And I know because I've been through it, and I know that there's really nothing I can do. I can talk to them. I can try to explain my story. I can try to put it out there, but unless you're ready, I know how it is, dude. I'm not. Very unlikely that me forcing you to do it is gonna work. Maybe listening to this, maybe you'll just understand. Maybe this will be your pivotal moment that just says, "Food, fuck, that's me. Fuck, that's what I need to do. Damn, I want to do that. I'm done living this life. I don't care if it's one fucking person, dude. It was worth it." And honestly, felt like I should just put it out there. Honestly, I needed to get this shit off my chest. Honestly, through all this, I'd like to start recording my success, the things I'm bettering, the things that I'm doing. And if it helps someone, great. If it doesn't, I'll try better next time. Catch me in episode 2. Some of the things aren't always going to be about, obviously it's not going to just be all about this. It's going to be all sorts of shit, but this is where I'm starting. This is where I'm at. Here's the slate here. Here we go. Let's clear everything up. Here's where I've been. Here's what I've been doing. And on that realm, and on the realm that I'm on, I'm getting better. I'm doing so much better than where I was before. I am finally putting all my ducks in a row. I'm finally able to build up and be positive, and I'm finally able to do the things that I want to do that I felt that were not even reachable. I felt like I would never be able to, and I'm doing it now. Granted, there's still problems, for instance, my vehicle broke down. Engine completely fucked. Completely screwed. And instead of just panicking, instead of just drowning myself, instead of just throwing it on the corner and throwing it for cash for clunkers and just saying, fuck that car, and I'll just take out another outlandish loan and just fuck it, I'll just let that one go into default and, whatever, I'll just let it go. I don't care. I relaxed. I thought about it. contemplated on it, started working, and really doing my research. Come to find out, dude, I had a fucking warranty that was still active. Come to find out they cover my engine. Come to find out it's at the shop right now getting a new engine put in it. And it's all kind of working out. And friends, some people that barely even know me, he's giving me rides to work. One of my buddies let me borrow his vehicle. Because he knows you're not going to be out drinking and driving. You're not going to go run this thing into a fucking brick wall. You're going to use it responsibly and you're going to do the right thing. Which, trust me, if you ask him 8 months ago, you would ask, fuck no, I would never let this guy buy my car. Hell no, I'm surprised his even lasted as long as it can. And I understand why his engine's probably fucked. He probably beat the shit out of it because he was drunk driving all the damn time. These things. Amazing shit. It's just one of them little things. People look at you in a different light when you're not self-destructing. When you are finally trying to do the right thing. When you are being a positive person. And it helps talking to people. It helps being able to... straight-minded, be able to actually do research and be able to actually talk to people and, get everything kind of sorted out sober, and just being fucking angry and just throwing the white flag up right away and just being like, oh, nope, can't do nothing about it. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked, and just throwing it out the door and just... I wouldn't have done that drunk. I would have ran to the bottle. And I would have seriously just thrown up a white flag and just said, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Nope. Too much for me. It's just like, seriously, there is no options. I know there is no options, so why would I bother ever looking for options? I wouldn't have done that drinking. I would have not done that. I didn't even know I didn't even know I had a warranty on the fucking thing, let alone that it was still active. Let alone that that it actually replaced all of this stuff. I wouldn't have fucking even known, dude. I didn't even know. So I started calling, started asking questions, and started, actually doing the right thing. Would have never have done that. Would have never have done that. It's just little tidbits. It's little things. Well, I guess in my perspective, that's kind of a big thing because, that's my fucking vehicle. But I mean, in that perspective, I could give 1,000 more examples of everyday stuff that I'm doing that before I'd be isolated in my fucking garage, sitting on my couch getting hammered. I wouldn't have been doing. That is making a big impact on my life, people's around me's life, and making my life more manageable, more positive, and honestly, working on the stepping stones of me getting myself to a better place. So, it's just one instance where it proves itself that it works. It proves itself that I am doing better, So, I mean, ultimately, I'm done living in the gutter. So, I don't know, that's where I'm at, man. Episode number 1. I don't even know. I've kind of like bounced all over the place, so quite honestly, to even remember where I'm at this point is just, I don't know. I don't know. Treatment was crazy. Book good. So many underlying things. I'm just going to ramble aimlessly, so I think that's episode 1, dude. It's episode 1. I plan on going more into depth about stuff as time goes on. I'm sure once I do kind of like categorize things, and not to say that it's all gonna like be an agenda or something, but this was a lot. This was a lot for me to do. This was something big for me to do, honestly, right now. So I'm not doing this live. This is big. I'm not going to edit this. You know what? I'm just putting it out raw. There's a whole lot of and all that shit. I'm just keeping in. I'm done editing, dude. Done. Not spending the time doing it. And it mostly helps because all this is comprehensible and understandable. It's not a bunch of slurs and me sleeping or me passing out or I mean on Realms, you guess you've listened to me drink coffee for how many times, but you know what, coffee's good. So that's it, man. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. I really hope something that I said really hit you and strike home for you if you are in the situation that I was in, or if you're looking to get help, please contact me. And if not me, contact a loved one, contact a therapist, go to AA. I don't care. Do something. If you're not, and you're just looking to better yourself, man, do it. Do it. Yeah, if you want to go off and just record, put it out there, man. If you got stuff you're working on, put it out there. Put it out there. I'm definitely, let me know your channel. Let me know what you're doing. Shit, man. I will follow you, man. Straight up. I'm all about it. So, that's it. Like and subscribe. alphablue 5.0. Channel's back in action. It's going to be a whole lot of chatting. A whole lot of going. It is episode 1, so I mean, ultimately, man, where I think it's going to go from here is just, that's where I think it's going. About how it's going to end up is, I don't know. And I'm just going to let it book, and we'll just see. So, stay happy, guys. Live positive. Even meditate a little bit. And like and subscribe, dude. So, thank you all very much. Have a good day. Peace out.